Hey everybody, I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I wanted to first off say that I'm really sorry that I haven't gotten the tutorial up for you guys yet on all the vases that I created a few weeks ago. I've had major technical issues and actually lost all the videos that I did for you guys last week. So I'm going to do a little bit of a revision on this project. So in the comments section, I'm going to put a link for the tutorial that I actually used at the beginning to learn how to do it myself. So you can kind of get a step-by-step. There's a video in there that she'll walk you through the process of getting this desired look. Now, I did mine a little bit differently. I had kind of pulled from several different tutorials for the first few steps to the process because I wanted mine to have more texture to it, and so I used something that's very common to all of us, but I wanted to share a few of those ideas with you if you're looking for a more textured look than what she offers on the tutorial. So one thing that we can commonly find in Africa is plaster. Plaster, I think, is something that most all of us can find at our hardware stores, as well as just old cheap paintbrushes that we have either laying around the house or just find an inexpensive one at the hardware store. So what you'll do is take your glass. Now, all of these are glasses that I found at Goodwill. I found some at the dollar store. I even saw one girl, she used an old ceramic piece that I think had Santa Claus on there that she just was over. She didn't want it anymore, so she repurposed it into one of these old antique vintage looking jars. So what I did is I took my plaster, that was the first step I did, and took my paintbrush and just honestly got out a ton of plaster and just started dry brushing it on there. Now, one thing you'll have to keep in mind is it's okay to leave, you can see like there's a good little bump there. Leave that, don't mess with it, that's good stuff. That's where all the paint can kind of soak in and create some of the dimension that you're wanting. I think the chunkier the better. So don't be scared of the plaster. The first time I tried it, I went a little light on it. And so I let it sit and dry, and then I came back to it and put more on there. And I definitely liked that look better. Also, be sure that you're going around the rim. That's something that's easy to forget. And one thing that I did is I did not cover up the bottom of my vessel because I wanted to sit flat. So I didn't do the bottom. Plus, there's probably not going to be many people that pick it up and look at the bottom anyway. So don't stress out about that. I didn't go all the way into the jar. I just did right on the rim. That's basically all you're going to see anyway. So just have fun with it. Take your time, play with it. I'll be honest, the first time that I tried her tutorial, I sat there and I painted and I stippled for a while, and I liked it okay, but just wasn't crazy about it. So I walked away for a little while and came back, and then I was like, okay, I have a different idea, and I started going with that and just kept playing with it and eventually got the look that I was going for. So a few tips. Now, in her tutorial, she is going to like brush on paint, and that's fine for you to do. If you want to do that, go for it. That's what I did the first time. For me, what I found with the heavier texture is it was better for me to stipple on the paint. It gave me a more natural look to it. But if you're going for a more solid color, definitely paint it on like normal. You'll be fine. But for me, I wanted kind of a variegated look with different colors and things like that. So I feel like stippling it on really helped me. Another thing that you want to be sure that you're doing is letting the paint dry before you put on another layer of paint. So the more layers you put on, the better it's going to look. So especially whenever you're doing multiple colors. So think about multiple layers of that. Make sure you're drying between each layer, because what'll happen is if you start painting over another color, it's just going to get really muddy. So make sure you're letting it dry. And the same thing goes for the plaster. When you first apply the plaster, make sure that you let it dry for about, I would say, an hour or two, enough for it to be solid enough that whenever you start stippling or painting on there, it doesn't just fall off. Now, on my piece here, I had a few spaces that I could see the glass, and it's okay because the paint covered it up, but you don't want huge portions like that. You want it to pretty much primarily be covered by the plaster. I did use the baking soda trick that you'll see in her tutorial. I continue to do that, and that just added a little bit more of a gritty texture to the final product, which I really liked. So I hope you enjoy it. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to talk you through any of it. I have loved all the pieces that I've created so far and cannot wait until next itineration whenever we're back home and I can actually use these things to decorate with. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday and look for the link for the DIY in the comments below. Talk to y'all later. Bye.